Quintuplets are groovy in a delightfully slimy kind of way. Since they're situated right between 16th notes and 16th triplets, they have this unique, liquidy, viscous feel to them. They're great for breaking out of the more standard rhythmic grids and can give off some serious lo-fi vibes. As the name implies, we get quintuplets by splitting beats into 5 equal parts, and I primarily work with 3 main hi-hat patterns, which establish a sort of rhythmic framework. The first hi-hat pattern is the first, third, and fifth parts of each beat. The second hi-hat pattern is the first, third, and fourth parts of each beat, and the last hi-hat pattern is the first, second, and fourth parts of each beat. Each pattern implies a slightly different quintuplet feel, and here's how they all sound in a basic groove. I find quintuplets groove especially hard when there are no gaps in the rhythm, so I make an effort to fill every quintuplet space. This is where I apply a technique I like to refer to as hole punching. Now, the name is just something I came up with, and upon further thought, I understand it's a little deceptive, because usually when you punch a hole in something, you're putting a hole into something that did not previously have a hole, and in reality, we're almost doing the opposite. We're searching for little rhythmic holes in a pattern and plugging the holes. Maybe I should call this hole plugging instead. To provide some contrast against those hi-hat patterns, I pay careful attention to offset kicks from the hi-hats in the middle of beats, which really plays into the unsteady feel of quintuplets. Any gaps not filled by kick or hi-hats get a ghost note, so we'll have all these churning, bubbly, dynamic layers going on. To demonstrate, I'm going to slowly play through a few variations using each hi-hat pattern. Everything I'm about to play is transcribed and available on my Patreon page. Check out the link in the description. So with the first hi-hat pattern, we need to fill the second and fourth parts of each beat. Now, just because we want to make sure something happens between each stroke of the hi-hats doesn't mean that we can't also play the kick or ghost notes at the same time as hi-hats. In fact, it's incredibly important to layer different sounds together like that to give grooves more depth and texture. So here are a few variations with just that first hi-hat pattern. With the second hi-hat pattern, we need to fill the second and fifth parts of each beat. This pattern puts us into that quintuplet swing feel, where there's an underlying long, short pulse within each beat. So the quintuplets really feel like 3 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Here are a few variations for that second hi-hat pattern. And with the last hi-hat pattern, we need to fill the 3rd and 5th parts of each beat. This pattern stutters extra hard since the stresses really happen on the 2nd and 4th parts of each beat. It almost feels more like 8th notes that get displaced by a 16th note. This one's kind of weird to base a groove around, but it works especially well in conjunction with the other 2 hi-hat patterns. Regardless, here are some possibilities for that 3rd hi-hat pattern. From there, explore some possibilities by weaving together the different hi-hat patterns. Make sure you're always filling every quintuplet space with either kicks or ghost notes or even extra accents on the snare to make the most use of those different dynamic layers and textures. Try thinking of phrases based around the different hi-hat patterns, so you could have like A, B, A, B, or B, C, B, C, or A, B, C, A. There are a lot of different possibilities, and it takes a lot of trial and error to better internalize this stuff and develop better musical sensibilities. But the best way to learn it all is to throw yourself into the process. If you like what you saw in this video, check out my Patreon page. Your support grants you access to transcriptions for this video, as well as transcriptions for all my other lesson videos. And follow me on Instagram at drummerhar to see more videos of my playing. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.